You know what it is, everybody. When the games are live, so are we. Welcome to Live Lines here at Nuke the House. I'm the spitting statistician, Dane Martinez. With me, as always, is Mr. Twatty, new to your town, Matt Dickson. What's going on, Matt? Last time in the regular season, at least, that we're going to be doing Major League Baseball Live Lines. And if anybody's been with us, we have had 12 shows, profitable in 9 of them. Only 2 of them did we lose any money. So this has been a good little outfit so far, huh, Matt?
Yeah, 100%. And to the chatters in here, appreciate you guys stopping in. Dane and I were just talking before we came on air. Probably do something little for the playoffs if we can get 2 games on the same day or something. So I don't think this will be our last show, but next year, once we get you guys back, we'll get some new followers. It'll be on. And yeah, last week, what a week, 4-0. 4-0.
Absolutely. So let's tie it up with a nice little bow and continue the profit. I got to ask you first, unless there's a game you got to dive into right now, because I got to tell you, by the way, Matt, I was coming on. I saw the White Sox on an Eloy Jimenez homer go up 3-0, right? And I was like, oh, this could be a good spot for Arizona, a team that needs it against a team that's mailing it in. And what do you know? Already, it's back to 4-3 Chi Sox. I saw it at 3-0. Then I saw it again at 4-1. Thought there was an opportunity there. But, Arizona has come back a little bit. So unless there's something that you have burning to give to the people, I got to tell you, this is a weird one, man. This is a weird one. Last week of the season, many teams that are out of it. And my knee-jerk reaction is to look for situations where a team that is out of it is up on a team that still has something to play for. Thinking that old cliche like, oh, they need to win, something like that. But I don't know if I could really put stock in that. That's why I thought about the White Sox and the D-backs. But I don't know if that's something that I can really hang my hat on here in the live market, but I think this is going to be tough with so many teams already penciling in their vacation for a mere 6 days from now, Matt.
Yeah, I don't know. You know how I feel about that. I mean, if the pitcher's better than me, he's better than me. Whether he's going to the playoffs, I'm going to the playoffs. Yeah. He's going to Hawaii, I'm going to Hawaii. If he's better, he's better.
Right.
Now, what we are going to get is we're probably going to get some late call-ups, that probably maybe aren't major league ready. So that may be a factor. But, hey, if it's my last major league at-bat of the season, I'm taking it serious. I don't care if I've lost 100 games. Yeah. I'm trying to go yard, or you know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, now in the 9th inning, we're going to have a little more you're exactly right. We're 8th and 9th, we're going to have a little more strategy on these teams that are trying to get in. Maybe bunting over, stuff like that. So there is definitely a little bit to it. We'll definitely keep our eye on that. 100%. Yeah.
All right, for sure. What's going on? JW in the chat, Yellow Hammered 75 in the chat, Tom Zaffino, Tommy Boy, Hamilton 69. What's going on, everybody? Y'all have been with us for live lines through most of the summer. Hopefully you have been enjoying the profit. Matt, I agree with you. Listen, I played baseball, you played baseball. Just because it's my last game or just because I got a vacation to Hawaii or something next week doesn't mean I see the seams on a slider any different. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
You're still either good at baseball or you're bad.
Right. It's not like I'm taking a different angle to a fly ball in left center field just because I know I'm in the playoffs. I get it. Not from the player standpoint, but maybe from the managerial standpoint, wanting to get some kids some extra exposure. Maybe they're managing it a slightly different way. So we will keep our eye out on that. And I have to ask you right out the gate, we haven't had this in a while. We've got a rough underbelly potential game here. All right. Tampa Bay is up 7-0, Matt, on the Boston Red Sox. This one is, where are we in the game here? It's, middle of the game. We're in the 5th inning. And obviously Tampa with something to play for, 95 wins. They're probably the wild card one. Small chance that they can catch the Orioles in the American League East. Boston's got nothing to play for. Could that be even more reason to bet Boston on the comeback, like plus 6.5 right now at plus money? What are you going to do any differently than one of those rough underbelly games like I usually see? We got a 7-1 blowout for the Rays right now.
Is it 7-1?
No, 7-run blowout.
Right, yeah. I think I would need a little more plus money. Okay. From the Red Sox. I'm looking at 102.
Yep.
Right? Is that what you're kind of looking at around there?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. 6.5 runs plus 102 right now.
Yes. So I would need a little more. What I am really looking at is the Cubbies are about to get they're in a run.
They just got caught in a rundown. They just got caught in a rundown between third and home, and that runner got canned. So what they did this earlier in the game. Okay, they had first and third, and the Cubs sent the runner to first from first to steal. Right, a couple of innings ago, they threw down, and they wound up with second and third. Okay, because the guy stole second, the guy in third just stayed at third. They did it again. They threw down, and they literally straight up did like the old Little League play.
I was going to say Little League play.
Yeah. And they got the guy in the rundown between third and home. So it is still 5-0, but I do think you raise a good point. This game is going into the bottom of the fourth. We got teams that care, not how much we're paying attention to that, but the team that's down is the best team in baseball. The Atlanta Braves are down 5-0. I can give you 3.5 plus 110. You like that?
Yeah, I may like the -3.5 at minus 140.
Really? You think the Cubs will keep this working margin?
Even
if said before we went on that Atlanta's going to score.
Yeah. Well, I think the Cubs will probably score too. Justin Steele has really been struggling lately.
Last few starts, it's true.
Yeah, and to be perfectly honest, I thought he was a little bit of smoke and mirrors anyway. And he's like a crafty veteran. When I see him pitch, you're like, how is he getting people out? Because his stuff is like, okay, whatever. Right. But and now it's really coming to a head. So I do think the Braves will get to him. But we know the Cubs, they'll probably continue to tack on too.
So we got a game total of 10.5. You're over here telling me you think the Braves will score. You think the Cubs will still score. Game total I'm looking at is 10.5. It is locked right now, but it was pretty much, normal juice on both sides. Nothing beyond 120, let's say. It pops back up over 10.5. Over 10.5 is at now just minus 113 on both sides. There's 5 runs in. Can there give you 6 more in this game? We're in the bottom of the fourth, and the home team is trailing, so they would hit in the bottom of the ninth if needed, and that'd be Atlanta.
I don't really want to go more than a run an inning, and that puts us at a little bit more than a run an inning, right?
Yes, it does. Well, we got the bottom of the fourth and the entire 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. 5 innings to get 5 runs, we would get caught by the hook in that situation. So it's on pace the way you always say here, Maddie, with the idea of like half a run, and
a bat.
Yeah. So I don't know, but if you don't want to go with the over necessarily, then tell me which team total you like, or tell me if you like Atlanta coming back right now plus 3.5 runs, plus 116, or if you really want to be strong, you can get about 6-1 for the Atlanta Braves to come on back all the way and actually win this game outright. But if they were to win this game outright, it's going over 10.5. Let's be clear.
Yeah, so we did just change to 4.5, but it's at 136. So I don't like that. But I'd like the Braves at 2.5. So we're gonna probably have to wait another inning to get that, huh?
Listen, yeah, you're right. It did just go to 4.5, minus 136. I guess. Let's keep an eye on this one as the Braves are up in the bottom of the fourth round now, because every out is going to be a little bit different, right? I got Matt Olson up right now. They're in the heart of Atlanta's order. So if we get through this, then I would like the 4.5. I'm trying to if I can get Atlanta plus 4.5 with juice that's not out of this world, and right now I'm staring at minus 130. That's something I'd be interested in. If I can get the minus 115 plus 4.5, then we're talking about the Braves winning the game from here, them being the home team. That's something I might be down with. What up, Lounge? Saying let's go, boys. Regular here with the Nuke the House chat conglomerate. What's going on, man? Let's get some more profit. What do you think? Are you with me? Are you gonna try to wait this bottom of the fourth out here? Get through Olsen, maybe. Get through who else is there? Maybe who's up after Olsen in this lineup now? Ozuna. If we can get through those to the bottom and get through the bottom of the fourth, then they may be giving us that plus 4.5 with better juice.
Right. Yeah, I want to reevaluate it.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. So I'm going to keep an eye out on that because it's changed already. It's changed already now, by the way, just so you know here. With Olsen still up, he just made an out. So now I can get the Braves 2 outs, nobody on. I can get them plus 4.5 runs, minus 115. That's what I was talking about before. What kind of juice are you looking for here?
Yeah, I think if you could get 115, I think we're probably good. Although if we wait I don't know. That's a tough one.
So right now Ozuna is up. Nobody.
I'm way behind. Fuck.
I got a 1-0 count on Ozuna. Nobody.
I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. I don't know. I don't have
okay. I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. I think if I can get 4.5 here, we'll see what Ozuna did. It's the end of the inning. Ozuna made an out. Okay, so now we are going to the top of the 5th. I want to see what pops back up. And here we go. Plus 4.5, minus 113.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do believe the Braves are going to score at some point in this game. And we're at the changeover on the inning, so we have a little bit of time. What do you think about this? You're on the fence. I am I believe in this. And here's the other piece. You are talking about how Steele has been not as great the last couple of starts out. Justin Steele has also now pitched 63 pitches through 4 innings. We are going to get to that time that we like in the 5th and the 6th inning. I believe the Braves can get to Steele that kind of 3rd time in the order in those middle innings. And I think we're going to be staring at a 6-3 game in the 7th inning. And then holding the 4.5 is good. Eric Rosas is in the chat saying Braves team total over 2.5.
Yeah.
At minus 115. Would you rather go the team total rather than the run line here?
Yeah. But if it's only if it's minus 115, I don't want to pay more than that.
All right, Braves total. Braves team total over 2.5 minus 106. So that's maybe the way to go.
That gets us the half a run and a bat.
Yep. And it's minus 106 as opposed to the run line, which is minus 113. So let's do that. That's our first play of the night. Let me put it in right now. Braves over 2.5. I like that one. That offense is not going to be stifled for the entire time. We talk about the 5th and 6th inning, which is coming up. So I'm with it as well. Braves get to 3 in this game. I like that. Good spot here.
If you see something, say something.
See something, say something. You know what it is at this point. Thanks to everybody for doing it. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat. I'm going to put that in the scroll. Let me know anything else you see. The one other note I'll make here, Dodgers-Rockies, that's about to start. That is the 2nd game of a doubleheader today, people.
Yeah.
The Rockies beat the Dodgers earlier in the day. The Rockies beat the Dodgers 4-1 in that one. The piece that I think is interesting, the Dodgers used 3 arms. They had an opener. The Rockies used a couple of arms out of the pen to lock down that win. Okay, so Bird came in through an inning, Lawrence came in through an inning, Kinley came in through an inning. So now in the 2nd game here, the nightcap, the Rockies bullpen is going to be stretched a little bit, to be sure. Oh, and by the way, that rough underbelly, Boston has just scored 3 runs here in the bottom of the 5th to make what was 7-0, 7-3. And we talked about that, right? That's one thing we always said with that rough underbelly. Could we have gotten the Red Sox plus 6.5, and now all of a sudden plus 6.5 would look pretty good. But that's why, if you're in the chat, you know I'm not just giving you a fish. We're teaching you how to fish. Those are the things to look at, whether you follow us or not. All right, I'm going to put the Braves team total.
Yeah, go ahead.
What you're seeing.
I was actually going to just ask you about the Phillies giving it up to the Pirates, and they just did. 2-2. Yep. Because it was sitting, I think the number was probably sitting pretty nice. While you're doing that, here's something I noticed that I've touched on a couple times is the variance in Colorado. I've been kind of watching. I haven't watched the last 2 or 3 games, but going back before that, every game in Colorado is more than 1 run. Every game. There's not more than 1 run scored. A team wins by more than 1 run. So if you're taking run lines and reverse run lines, you're making a shit ton of money betting that in Colorado. And it happened again today. The Dodgers won by more than 1 run.
The Rockies won by more than 1 run.
Or the Rockies won by more
than
1 run.
To be quite honest, that's even better.
Yeah. So But no, so that's just it used to be called the Coors Field Fade. Is what it used to be called. There actually was a term for it
Interesting.
a while back. If anyone remembers Nostradamus on Twitter, he was like, I don't want to say the inventor, but he was the biggest promoter of that.
Gotcha. There's another game. We got a team that is in it. Although this is a team that's pretty much locked into their position. I'm talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. They're at home against the Cardinals, and they are down right now. I've got that game as 2-1 St. Louis. Any interest in potential of the Milwaukee Brewers, who are the NL Central champions, I do believe, or if not, their magic number is like 1. Any reason to back them maybe to come back? They're now plus 124 at home, down a run.
Yeah, I just had plus 1.5 at minus 140, which I would have been real interested, but it just jumped to 162.
Right, I'm seeing that as well. We're in the top of the 5th here. Nobody on, nobody out. The leadoff man up for St. Louis in that one. I believe they announced also that Wainwright is getting shut down. That is 200 career win. So you tip his cap. Tip a cap to him. Great career there. Josh remembers the guy you're talking about, the Nostradamus dude out there on the kind of reverse run line out there at Coors Field, where variance is king. You very rarely, in essence, get that 1-run lead. I talk about it all the time. Also, the inverse of that with the low totals and how I like the points, I like the dogs when it comes to the low totals.
You know, the other place that was for the books that give it was, I think it's the PCL League that's out there in Vegas.
Yeah.
With all those high altitudes.
Elevation. Yeah.
Yeah, those games were like, 12-8, like the overs and the variance would fly over there as well, too.
You could look at that and when they go to Puerto Rico to play, when they go to London to play, in those games, you get crazy totals of like 15.5 pregame. Sometimes I get caught. I'm like, what? They made a mistake. Let me bet the under real quick without realizing that they're in some international bandbox and runs will be scored. But, the concept is this. When there's a lot of runs scored, you have a better chance that it will not be a 1-run game out there.
We may have a little opportunity. Sorry to interrupt. Nah, there's the third out. Shit. Detroit, just to win, is 134.
They are against that Kansas City bullpen that we love.
Yeah, I know. I want like another 10 cents though.
And you might get that because right now, no, they just went to the top of the 8th. Here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'll say. You know what I like in this one? There's a tie game in the 8th. 4 is on the board. They're hanging 5.5, Matt.
Yeah. Oh shit! But it's 178.
It's a little too much. You're right. It's a little too much.
146.
Yeah, that is a little too much for me. But another thing, because remember, this is our last show of the regular season, so I'm trying to teach y'all how to fish. Conceptually, I like the idea of multiple runs being scored from here. I do not think necessarily this is going to be a 3-2 final in Detroit, especially even you get to extra innings, you get the man on, you can get both teams scoring runs. So that's an interesting one. So far, all we've got is the Braves team total. St. Louis just added another run. So they are now up 3-1 in that game. Let's see what we can get on the Milwaukee side. Coming back, it's locked right now. Would you be interested in something like they're giving you now 2.5 runs for the Brewers minus 132?
I would definitely be interested in that, but
even at minus 132?
I mean, are we like in the middle of an inning?
St. Louis is up, 2 out, nobody on. Oh, and it's now 4-1. So someone just went yard. It looks like Edmund just went yard to make it 4-1. So maybe it's not Milwaukee's night, and we need to get off that.
We can come back to it if we want.
Yellow Hammered out there just said the Cards just homered. That's what made it 4-1. Edmund did go yard to right center. But I'm looking for times where the team that's in it is down. Although Milwaukee's an interesting one because they're pretty much locked, right? Like they're going to be the 3 seed, I believe, in the National League. They're not going to get ahead of the Dodgers for a 2 seed to get a bye. And they are going to get that home series, interestingly enough, with whoever that last wild card team is. And that last wild card That's really where the tension is in this last week of the regular season. Matt, Arizona, 82 wins. The Cubbies, 82 wins. The Marlins, 81 wins. The Reds, 80 wins. That's really where it can still happen.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
And
some of those games are going on here in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Then over in the American League, I think the biggest spot, and they are facing each other, it's the Astros and the Mariners that are getting going from Seattle. Right now, Seattle is, I think, a game and a half back of Houston for that final wild card spot. So literally, that is a spotlight game in the American League. The Mariners can pretty much cut into that lead and almost put them in a flat-footed tie with about 5 games left. I have a play in that game a little bit later on. Maddie's going to give you a wild alternate universe parlay to send you home in the regular season, but we'll get all of that.
What about the Blue Jays money line right now?
Sure. That's interesting. The Blue Jays money line right now
plus 116.
They are plus 116. They are at home. They are the better team. The thing you have to worry about is that the Yankees have runners on second and third with 1 out right now.
Yeah.
So if that run comes in, we're in the 7th. So Toronto will only have a couple more at bats. But this may be where Gausman is also at 99 pitches. So they may be taking Gausman out right now, to be quite honest. You don't have the force play. Yeah. So
I'm surprised we're only getting 116 there, to be honest.
I agree with you. Maybe that's going to change because now that IKF stole second, it takes the double play out of the equation. So maybe runners on second and third is different than runners on first and third because of the ground ball double play. It's locked right now. Wow. No. Toronto just became a bigger favorite, Maddie. Check this out. Toronto went to minus 132 on the money line.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Are you on FanDuel or DraftKings?
I'm looking at FanDuel right now.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to me that, more juice on Toronto, even though the double play is no longer in order here, with the Yankees up in the top of the 7th. That's interesting to me.
I'll tell you what's interesting to me.
What's that?
Plus 700 for the Nats. I mean, it should, if you score half a run an inning, it should be plus 200. Right? 300.
Yeah, but you think they're going to – they just changed it, by the way. It's now under 6-1. I've got it at plus 570.
I got it
over on FanDuel. Oh, they just rocketed it back up to 680.
But you know what I mean? Just for value, there's value there.
Just for shits and giggles? I hear you.
I'm not saying – this only hits, whatever, but –
well, at 7-1, they're talking about it as though it is like a 12%, 13% proposition.
Yeah. Cano's
they threw a runner out at home, says Kenny in the Yankees game. So now there's 2 out. That's probably why. And now with 2 out, it's minus 154. Like, do I think the Blue Jays are going to win this game? Yes. But do I want to play minus 154 for it? I'm not too sure about that. What do you want to do with this one, if anything?
I'm looking at under 2.5. That's what I'm staring at here. Do
you want to wait for the top of the 7th to end for that?
Yeah, the juice will go up.
It will. Who's up for the Yankees? Peraza is up. And they're leaving Gausman in. This is Gausman's last batter, probably. I've got him with a 1-2 count. He's going to strike out Peraza. I like the under 2.5. Matt. If we're going to do it, we got to do it now.
How are the Guardians? Yep. Okay. Sorry to interrupt. They're plus 470.
Who, Cleveland?
Yeah, no, that's locked.
They're down by 2. I think where we need to do and it just changed. Now it's minus 130 to go under the 2.5. That was something that I liked. Now it's minus 140 going under the 2.5. So that's moving because of the idea that there's 2 outs now. So that one might have gotten away from us.
That's fine.
We got a man on for Atlanta as we're trying to get that team total. So that's not bad. We'll take that. I think it's Ozuna that got on. So Murphy is up right now, 1 out, 1 on. We already have something in that game. What else could we look at? Twins are up big on Oakland. I don't know if you want to touch this because Minnesota's pretty much locked into their spot. We know Oakland has been the worst team in baseball for a while now. Minnesota up 5-0. You have any inklings as to Minnesota being able to tack on Oakland winning the game from here, those sorts of things?
Well, I'm not betting on Oakland.
I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind the -5.5.
Okay.
But it's 132. So I don't like
it just moved to 125.
And we lose an at bat.
Right. I don't like that when you're the home team. You're right about that one.
It's all right. I'm just scrolling through here.
Out of the 7th, the Yankees did not score. It's still scoreless in Toronto. Braves just hit into a double play, it looks like, so that's no good for them. We still need them to get some runs. I'd still like this under 2.5. -136, too juicy for you?
What game?
Yanks Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
we got a question.
If you like it, do it. It's like we're not that far off, like 10, 15 cents.
Yeah, I hear you. I'd rather go to where Kenny says in the chat. Look, let's check out Arizona and the Chi Sox again here. What's going on, though, is Arizona has bases. Check this out. Arizona bases loaded, down by 1, nobody out. They're -320 to win this game because they have bases loaded, even though they're down by 1. This is where I think we do a little run line, like White Sox +1.5. You can get at plus money.
Locked.
Locked?
I'm locked.
I'm just slow today. I don't have anything. But conceptually, do you like this spot? You want to plant a flag that they will or will not score here?
Well, I'm conceding 1, and factoring my what I'm choosing, I'm probably conceding 2. Okay. But at least 1. I'm conceding.
White Sox +1.5.
You get to play.
So this is what I'm talking about. White Sox +1.5, +108. They're a team that right now is winning the game. I could get a strikeout and then a play ball.
+110, and but the money line's 215
for a team that's up by 1 right now. And listen, I got a full count.
Yeah,
there's no guarantee that they put up a crooked number here.
Yeah, let's do White Sox +1.5
at +110.
Yeah.
I like that.
Unless mine just locked.
Mine locked too.
No, we don't want it now. It's +110. So if we like it, we got to take the money line 215.
Why not +1.5, +110?
Because what was it just?
The same thing.
Oh, it was?
It was just a foul ball. That's all that's happened.
Why does it keep locking then?
Cool. They're listening to us. That's what it is, Matt. The folks, the good people over at FanDuel are watching live lines at Nuke the House, and when they know that we're on something, they just take it off the board because they don't want to get hammered. That's what it is, because they know we are nuking the house, and they're scared.
+2.5, I just saw for half a second.
So they don't know what to do here. It's a 4-4 game here.
Okay, well, we can reevaluate it. All
right, so that's why it's on. Let's
trying to get on Pittsburgh.
What do we got in Pittsburgh? What's Pittsburgh?
They've been playing so well, and their bullpen has been really good lately.
We're now
minus that one game.
Right. We're now in the top of the 9th, so I want to let people know that the total is no longer available. And that's one where we had that 5.5. My usual system is to go over 5.5, thinking that this will not be a 3-2 final in that one. Pittsburgh +118.
Yeah, it's not enough. Philly's the better team at home.
Philly is the better team, and they're pretty much locked into the number 1 wild card spot in the National League as well. They're not going to catch Atlanta, obviously, but teams like the D-backs and the Cubbies aren't going to catch them. So they're going to have that home for the wild card versus wild card pretty much.
Here we go. +2.5 for the White Sox, -113.
+2.5 for the White Sox, -113. There is still bases loaded. There is still nobody out.
That puts it 7-4, really.
Yeah.
So even if 2 runs score, we're still covering the bet.
All right. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Now, if all three,
I hope we get out of this inning, but let's roll with it.
Well, for us to be, if all 3 come in, we just got to grin and bear it. But
yeah, we still got a long way to go, and we're the home team. All right, so White Sox plus 2.5, minus 113. That's our play, Matty. I'm with you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'll concede 1, and for capping, I'm probably going to concede 2. Concede
right.
2,
But then we'll still have the lead.
Right.
All right. I'm going to put it in the chat. As I put it in the chat, tell me why you like these Pittsburgh Pirates as they head in there in the 9th here in a tie game in Philadelphia.
Yeah, go ahead. The problem with this game now is they got Alvarez in just absolute filth. If I was a lefty, I would want nothing to do with standing in the box against this guy. And again, the Phillies are at home. They are the better team, and you're only giving me 116. I need 160. So I got to lay off of that. Maybe I'll look at Philly if this drops to like minus 120. Take the better team at home. There is no outs in the top of the 9th, though. But minus 164, I'm not too keen with here. Looking at this Toronto Yankees game, we're still sitting at the over-under 2.5, juice to the under. The run lines are really not doable either way. 160.
What's the under 2.5? What's the under 2.5?
156.
Yeah, that's too much.
And that's the way we would lean. We're not leaning over in that. So
right. Cubs look like they may tack on. Runners on the corners for the Cubs. Ian Happ up, 1 out. But really, what we need right now, and they did make the change. Urena was out for the White Sox. What we need here is a strikeout and a ground ball in Chicago, because we are now holding the White Sox plus 2.5. We need to get out of this inning with limited damage. Christian Walker up for the D-backs.
1 would be amazing.
Yeah, if we can get just 1. Base knock from the Cubbies. They are tacking on 6-0 Chicago in the top of the 6th. We've got 3 more at-bats for the Braves. We need to get to 3 runs. And we've got what looks like a fly ball. Let's see what we get here in Chicago. The ball is in play. Hopefully it's not a base knock, because that can get our lead, that plus 2.5 to evaporate real quick. Yep, that's a problem. It's now plus 4.5.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody scored.
Oh,
we hopped on in the wrong time. Could have been
the right time.
What's up?
Could have been the right time if that didn't happen, but
it could have been. It could have been. That is to be sure. But right now, what I'm looking at, it is a triple for Christian Walker. All 3 runs score. It is now 7-4 Arizona. We're holding 2.5 though, so we just need to, in essence, win the game from here still, and we're still okay.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. That's a good point. We're only down a run.
The only problem is that Walker will probably score here because he's on 3rd with nobody out in Chicago. So we took a stab there. But
well, what's amazing is the worst thing that could happen happened, and we're still in the game.
Exactly. Lounge says, you talk and I click. Viral video says, Twatty, an angle I want to deep dive into next year. So this year, 13 of the 30 Major League Baseball teams are going to end positive units if you solely bet money line every game. There has to be something we can do. Yeah, I think, and he wants your opinion on it. I think what you got to do is you pick the team that you think, that like their season win total is in the high 70s, in the low 80s, that you think is going to overperform, because that's that team that's going to be at plus 114, plus 126 all the time. And then if they wind up going around 500, you're up plus money.
I don't think I'm really
around 500 overperforms.
Sorry, Dan. I don't think I really understand what he's saying. I'm not picking up what he's putting down.
I think he's saying that the 13 of these 30 teams, if you just bet money line with them all the time, they would be up. So they, in essence, kind of overperformed, really. And there's got to be some weakness.
That means 17 didn't.
That is true. And that's
So
why I say
that's what I'm trying to figure out what I'm sure I'm just reading it wrong, so that's why.
Viral Video says Dane got it. And that's what it is. It's just, so, I mean, you can't get it, but that's okay. That's okay.
I'm a little slow. Whatever.
That's why we're here together. It's okay.
Alzheimer's.
He's saying there has to be an opportunity with that many positive. So, you have to, though, bet them every single night. And Viral Video, for me, that's just like, that's a marathon, man. And you got to do it all the time. I bet, and you probably have the stats, Viral Video, that those same 13 teams that you have that are plus money on the money line, I guarantee that out of those 13, 11 or 12 of them went above their win total. You know what I mean? So instead of just going every single day like, oh, I like this team, money line, I would just bet a big chunk on them over their season win total, or maybe even over an alternate season win total at better plus money. And that's one way to do it instead of having to, live and die with the ups and downs all season long, because it is a marathon, not a sprint. But I digress. We go to the top of the 8th in Toronto. We are still scoreless. Unfortunately, after that, it was Thomas singled. Christian Walker has scored. That game is now 8-4 for Arizona. So we're holding it at 8 to 6.5. We still need the White Sox to come on back a little bit. We'll see what happens. Next inning, though, we got the Jimenez, we got Moncada. So we'll see if we can go ahead and, claw back in on that one. In Atlanta, the bottom of the 6th starts, so we need a couple runs out of the Bravos as well, because the Cubbies are up 6-0.
Yeah, crooked number here would be
crooked number would be great. Also, if you did auto bet some of the things we said, that 7-0 Tampa Bay Rays lead, yeah, it's now 7-5. Since we came on air, Boston has scored 5 runs, whether that's against the rough underbelly of the Tampa Bay bullpen or not. We talked about this, and Boston has closed that game to be 7-5. Maybe, we got a run in Atlanta. Kevin Pillar has gone yard to start the bottom of the 6th. Remember, what did we say? In the 6th inning, you ran these numbers, Matty. 6th inning, a lot of runs are scored. Justin Steele has thrown 78 pitches. Pillar has gone yard. That's the first run for Atlanta. But even better, we are now flipping the lineup over, Matty. It is going to be the 3rd time now for Acuna, Albies, Riley, Olsen, and the crew to see Justin Steele pushing 80 pitches. We need 2 more runs for the best team in baseball.
Yep, no, that was we needed that. Flip that lineup over. So we're gonna get all the big boppers 2 more times in this game, pretty easily. Right.
We need 2 more runs for Atlanta. Viral Video, yeah, take that next time. Instead of betting a money line, think about alternate win totals. Think about win totals. Those teams, those 500 kind of teams, maybe you get a nice number for them to make the playoffs even. But if you identify those teams in the kind of mid-level there, obviously not the Dodgers, we're not talking about Atlanta, we're not talking about, Tampa, those kind of mid-level teams, if you identify 1 or 2 that you like, instead of just continuously betting them money line, bet win totals, bet make playoffs on those teams. Acuna grounded out. Arizona still tacking on. There is still nobody out in the top of the 5th. Now runners on the corners there. That one doesn't look too great. Acuna grounded out, but Ozzy Albies has doubled. So now we have a man on 2nd still here, 1 out. And if he can get home, that would be 2 of the 2.5 runs we need in that one.
That would be huge. Then we'd have at least 3 more at bats.
Yellow Hammer 75 saying, Jesus, this White Sox pitcher is bad. He absolutely is, unfortunately. As Arizona's not making it out. They did bring in Ramirez. I believe it was Urena that was in who got the start there. But
that was a win or that was the spot.
Planting the flag with bases loaded.
We're winning it or we're losing it with that at bat.
That's what you have to do. And if you're new to betting live Major League Baseball, part of what you have to do is take a position mid-rally, okay? Because it didn't happen for us, right? There was the triple, and they keep on going. The other way it could go is you get the ground ball double play. They stay at 4-4, and then all of a sudden you're holding that 2.5. So we identified that was the high leverage spot. And it looks like we just went on the wrong side, but there's a lot of game left in this one. We got
that's where all the value is like in those tough situations, value either way. I mean, so that's plant your flag.
You got to plant the flag. Tom Zaffino, by the way, big shout out to Tom Zaffino. Tom Zaffino has been with us the entire time. Tom Zaffino is, reposting on Twitter, really hyping it up with the Nuke the Heg chat conglomerate. Big shout out to Tom. We appreciate you. You've been there since day one. But what he's saying is, could be a nice spot for the Braves. What we've got is Albies on second, and we're going through Riley and Olsen right now with one out and Justin Steele pushing the 85 pitch mark. I've got a 2-2 count on Riley. And these are guys, Riley and Olsen leads the majors in homers. A home run right now gives us a cash because that would get Atlanta to 3.
Yeah, by the way, Detroit. Fuck.
Detroit scored. Oh, they did. But here's what I'll say. Detroit scored, but Matty, they scored 2. Okay? So that is over 5.5 now. You know how much I love that. With the tie games, it was tied at 2. I said over 5.5. Detroit scored 2, so we got to 6 right there. So they are over the 5.5. We didn't put it in officially on the scroll, but if you listen to me, and that is my blueprint for it, that would have gone over the 5.5. Austin Riley also just hit a foul ball home run.
I know. I saw that. And I was trying to get on Detroit, just straight up.
I was trying to get on. I was telling people about the over. We've been hammering and fading the Royals bullpen all summer long, and they continue to do Royals things here as back-to-back homers to lead off the bottom of the 8th for the Detroit Tigers. So they're up 4-2.
No double play here. No double play.
Yeah, we got to walk here. It looks like they're taking out Steele here. There's a mound visit at least. We're still scoreless in the 8th in Toronto. We were intrigued by the under 2.5 in that one, and the Yankees are out of the 8th. We're going to the bottom of the 8th in Toronto. It is still scoreless. I don't think they're giving you the 2.5 anymore, but we were intrigued by under 2.5. It's now 1.5.
Yeah, it's locked. All right.
It's tough. Will this game be a 1-0 final? I don't know if I could push it that far. But we are in the bottom of the 8th in Toronto. It's still scoreless there.
Man, the total is only 10.5 in Atlanta. It's interesting.
They just locked it for me. 2 runners on, 7 runs in already, bottom of the 6th. This is a big at-bat for us for Matty Olson. If Matty Olson can go shopping into the gap, we're in good shape.
We can get the under 1.5 at 115.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to touch that. Oh, base knock, Matt Olson. Base knock, Matt Olson. It is 6-2.
Did we get to third?
No, it's first and second.
All right.
First and second, 1 out. But we do have our second run of the game for the Bravos. So now all we need is 1 more run, and that one would come on in for us. So if you're looking at the scroll in the bottom, we've got 2 plays so far. Atlanta team total over 2.5. They're at 2. And then that White Sox one got away from us real quick, unfortunately.
You basically wanted bat. Got away
right.
from it.
We planted the flag, and, it didn't go the way we wanted to.
And it blew away.
Tigers have tacked on, by the way. It's now 5-2 in the bottom of the 8th there. So that game over the total. Detroit looking good against that piss-poor, blunt guts trash Kansas City Royals bullpen.
But now everyone can see why the 6th inning is such a great inning because Justin Steele, who I don't believe in anyway, is starting to give it up. And now they're going to probably bring in – is it going to be – what's his name?
Leiter Jr.?
No. Fuck. I can't remember his name. No, he's a righty. He's their middleman.
Alozale?
No.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I can't think. Not Leiter.
It's not Leiter. Well, we'll see who they bring in.
Mark Leiter?
Quaz. No, they're bringing in Quaz.
Okay, so what is going on what can we get in Pittsburgh? Fucking, you're only giving me 134.
Well, you got first and second. Wow, but 2 out.
Yeah, for Philly.
Yeah. Who's up now for them? Castellanos?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I would think this would be like a 200 spot.
For Philly?
Yeah, no, Pittsburgh plus 200. Like,
yeah, but all of a sudden, I mean, Castellanos.
I mean, Pittsburgh's a favorite now. In what world? I'm sure would Pittsburgh be a favorite? I mean, they got out of the inning, but Pittsburgh's minus 116, Philly's minus 110. They're at home. They're the better team. What would that?
That's weird.
That's very weird. It makes me want to take the minus 110 with Philly, right?
It does make me want to take the minus 110 with Philly.
The better team at home?
The better team at home. You know the Pirates, though. You know the Pirates real well. What's up with the bullpen?
The bullpen's been well, but I mean, I've been wanting to try to get big plus money on the Pirates.
Right.
Yeah. So now they're Philly's a favorite, but barely.
Just so you know, Pittsburgh will have 5, 6, 7 in the top of the 10th. Philly will answer with 8, 9, 1.
I mean, what do we do? What are we waiting for? Or
we take Philly here, no?
I mean, we should.
Minus 118.
I mean, one's a playoff team, one's a not
better
a playoff
team at home. Let's not overthink it. it.
Play it.
I'm with you.
Does anyone got better than 116 to help us out?
Oh, over on FanDuel, it just went to 130.
Wait. Braves homer? Oh, that was a while ago. Shit.
Phillies are now minus 130, unfortunately.
Yeah, no.
I think that got.
I was willing to go 118, but
I was as well.
Because it was just priced wrong. We had our chance. It was priced wrong.
Yep, you're right. I mean, listen, how many times do I have to say it? You even saw me on Twitter today promoting the show. Our job is to surface the opportunities for you. Sometimes we don't, sometimes we don't get it. Base knockout of Ozuna, though, would give us the cash here. New pitcher is in for the Cubbies. Yeah, numbers gone, Tom. I'm seeing minus 130 for the Phillies. So that's a little bit too much.
Just no double play here.
Mercifully, we're out of the 5th inning. The Diamondbacks are up 9-4.
They were still up?
They were still up, yes. They were still up. So now we need the Chi Sox to get to within 2. Unfortunately, they're down by 5. But 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, we got 5 at-bats. We'll see what happens.
Oh, Tom Zavino says Braves.
Tom Zaffino says Braves. The reason he does that is because Marcell Ozuna has doubled into the left center field gap, and the Braves have scored their 3rd run of the game. That one is officially a cash for us here on Liveline. So you at least got one winner here. The Braves team total has gone over 2.5. Cash, it says Zaffino and the crew. The NUKE, the house chat conglomerate, has another winner here on Liveline.
Chat conglomerate. I love it.
That's right. The See Something, Say Something syndicate and the chat conglomerate.
All right. I'm with this Arizona game, though, I'd rather lose it big than sweat it and lose it at the end.
Yeah, so what's going to wind up happening is the White Sox are going to get to like 9-6 in the 8th inning, and we're going to have to sweat it.
But okay. I would take it.
It's going to be 10. It's going to be 10-7, something like that. And we're going to – oh, you know what we got to do? We got West Coast games. First pitch coming up soon. So I've got to play. You've got to play. Let's have fun with the people and give your play first, okay?
Alternate universe.
We're going to have Angels, Rangers. We're going to have Giants, Fathers. And we're going to have, and what I think is the big one, Astros, Mariners, with a whole lot still on the line in the American League there. Where are you going here on the West Coast, Maddie? Tell the people. Well,
so I'm going to take Texas plus 2.5, and that's obviously alternate. I mean, come on. 2.5.
You're having fun with it.
Hey, this is the go away parlay. Okay.
Let me interrupt you real quick.
Yeah.
Let me interrupt you real quick. Minus 112 on both sides in Philly. Nothing's happened in the top of the 7th.
Well, there's a guy on first.
All right. Is that enough?
That's maybe better.
That's better because now I can get a ground ball.
Yeah, let's do it. We got a winner in our
right?
pocket.
Philly money line?
Yeah.
It's even better now. It's down to 106.
Hopefully we didn't miss something.
But
yeah, so we'll take it. We'll take it.
We got Philly minus 106.
So obviously we want to correlate that with the over 7.5, and then the Astros catching 2.5. They were the dog actually in that, and then we'll go over 6.5. It all correlates. Doesn't mean it's going to hit. That's why it's plus 261. But so that's my play.
All right, fair enough. We're putting all those things in. I'm going a little bit simpler, guys. I'm going a little bit simpler in this Houston-Seattle game. Just give me the Astros team total. It's over 3.5. It's minus 115. I was surprised that it was only minus 115. Kirby, who's on the bump for the Mariners, has given up 3 or more earned runs in his last 6 starts. The Astros won 5-1 on Monday. Mariners used 3 of their bullpen arms. And I just like this offense. And the key is both of these teams need it in this one. Okay. Right now, Houston's the last wild card with 86 wins. The Mariners right behind them with 84 wins. So I think this is going to be a high stakes game in the Pacific Northwest. I like the Astros offense over the team total. I think Houston can get to 4. Lock it up.
Yeah, I like that too. Yep.
Thank you. So let's get into Philly here.
2-2.
I got a 2-2 count. Joe is up. And listen, I think you're right. The book gave us extra value with that first runner getting on base, walking. But to me, that creates forces everywhere. So I'm not mad at that.
Yep.
We got a fly out. So now we got 1 out. And so now ground ball could get us out of the inning. Hoffman on the hill for Philadelphia. Ground ball can get us out of the inning here. We're holding Philly at minus 106 is the number I actually got it at.
Yeah, that's cool.
Home run Yanks. 2-0 Yankees. 2-0 Yankees. And interestingly enough, the under 2.5 would be okay, but the under 1.5 would not. So we'll see what happens there as the Yankees take a 2-0 lead in that one. But our hot spot right now is in Philadelphia. We'll see if the Phillies can get out of the top of the 10th without giving up any runs.
What about we got 11.5 in Atlanta? I mean, that's 3 at-bats each.
My knee-jerk reaction is that, yes, there will be more runs.
That should get us to about 12 runs.
Yeah, my knee-jerk reaction is yes, but for me, it's just a lean, not really a play necessarily. Oh, something good must have happened for us because the Phillies are now minus 225.
Must have been a ground ball.
Something good must have happened for us. It's minus 225. I just got an 0-2 count on Rodriguez.
Yeah. Maybe he struck him out, but ground ball.
Yet. Ground ball would be even better. I'll take the strikeout too. But it's weird because, I would think I'm behind somehow with it being that much, minus 225. But
dude, either I'm watching this live from Pittsburgh, the stadium's 8 miles, and he's still up. So I don't know what the hell happened.
0-2 count. This next ball is in play. I'll let you know what we got.
Let's get a save.
Looks just like a fly ball. So 2 outs now. The runner moves up. So we got runners on the corners, but 2 outs.
Why did he move up there? He almost got thrown out.
Did he really? I don't know. Wild pitch.
Yeah.
I agree with you. The old adage is you don't make the last out at third base. I agree with you. But
or the first out.
That is also part of the same good old axiom. It's true. We got to buy our minor league baseball team, Matt.
I agree.
And then manage it the way we want. The Red Sox about to come back and win, says the Birds. And it's 7-6. Remember, we saw that 7-0, and we talked about the rough underbelly, the dramatic comeback. We talked about getting Boston plus 6.5. They've come all the way back. It's 7-6 now. End of 7 in Fenway.
Number 1 draft pick 2 years ago. Up.
Who's that? Holiday?
Henry Davis.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jack Holiday.
Maybe it was 3 years ago.
The years are all a blur. As you get to be older and older, and I've always said this to people, as you get to be older and older, a year inherently is a smaller percentage of your life as you go on. And so it actually, it actually moves a little bit quicker. Just 3 guys talking about baseball. What you going to do?
Minus 320. They had to have gotten them out. I don't know how I'm behind.
I see minus 320 as well. I'm seeing a 1-1 count, but with that jumping up, it looks like they must have got out of it. I'd see a 1-1 count. What do you have? You're watching the game.
Minus 370. I mean,
so they have to have gotten out. They have to have gotten out of the inning.
I mean, there's value on the Pirates now in a 50-50 game at plus 260. If this is all.
No. Phillies are going to win this one. Seager home run, 3-1 to finish the night. Good luck, fellas. That's what Eric Rosas says. Out there in Texas, he thinks Seager's going to go yard. I mean, listen.
Something must happen. It's locked.
Yeah.
Come back 340. They had to have gotten out of the inning. Where you got to be?
2-2 count. Maybe they're going pitch by pitch. The runner went up to second on defensive indifference. That's what it was. 2-2 count here. Davis is up. I've got minus 340 the Phils are now.
Man.
What, you just want to bet Pittsburgh at plus 240 now on the comeback?
I mean, for a game that's like.
I hear you, but.
We'll ride it out.
I think we ride it out. The Birds asked, will there be 3 more runs in Atlanta? 9 in so far. We've got is 11.5 is the game total. Oh, we struck him out.
Rooting against my team. It's all right.
I mean, hey, yes, I am, Matt. Yes, I am.
Dude, I mean, the Pirates are plus 430 to win this game.
Marsh, Rojas, and Schwarber will be up for Philly. I mean,
we put a quarter unit on and we profit. Right?
Yes.
On the Pirates?
Yes. I think we're going to win the game right here, though, in the bottom of the 10th. I think we got a winning bet.
Half unit. Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah. We're definitely in the right position.
Yeah,
we don't want to give it up.
My question for you is, you know what I'm going to ask you. Do you lead off with a bunt here?
You and I sound like our old heads.
I know.
Everyone in the chat's like, fuck a bunt. Actually, the Bunts made a comeback this year. They're in the bottom of the lineup, weren't they?
8-9-1. 8-9-1.
Yeah.
Brandon Marsh is your 8-hitter.
Well, I don't really want him bunting, really.
He's a big dude. But let's see how it plays out. I'm telling you right now, I am first guessing, as it were. I move this guy over. And I try and get the run in, sack fly, whatever it is.
Here's my problem with bunting.
What's up?
Is number one, these pitchers these days are harder to hit. They're harder to bunt. It's not a guarantee like in the old days when they were throwing 90 right down the middle. Second, a lot of times they'll be right on the third baseman will be right on top of you. Like when you're trying to bunt, he's like 10 feet from you. You know what I mean? Or the pitcher will cut over. You know what I mean? So they play defense for the bunt a lot better than they used to. I don't know.
All right. Well, let's see what happens here. We go to the bottom of the 9th, by the way, in Toronto. Kevin Biggio leads off. It is Clay Holmes in to try to get the save for the Yankees. 3 outs away in Toronto. Remember, what we were looking at there was when it was zip. We were looking at under 2.5. We are 3 outs away from that being a winning play, although we didn't get it in officially on the stroll.
We got Bednar up. Definitely one of the better guys, but he's very hittable. He's pitched into some good luck this year.
All right, so we'll see. We'll see. It's a pinch runner on second base. So we'll see what Marsh, Rojas, and then Kyle Schwarber.
Minus 600. Holy fuck.
What's that?
380 is the comeback for
the Pirates?
Yeah.
I know you're trying to get back on the Pirates.
It's just, it's all about value.
I hear you. You can lock in profit right now. You just got to figure out what size of unit you would want to do. I would say a third of a unit would get you profit for sure.
This
1-1 count on Brandon Marsh.
All right. I'm going to look at the board.
All right, you look at the board. I'm going to sweat out this. We need Philadelphia here. We need a base knock. We just need a base knock or somehow move this runner over. If Brandon Marsh strikes out, though, then I'm going to retroactively be able to say he should have bunted him over. When I have access to the results, then I'll tell you what he should have done. One out in Toronto, by the way. Yankees 2 outs away from getting the victory there.
Obviously, someone's going to win by more than 2 at Coors again. Dodgers blowing their doors off.
Yeah, they sure are. 5-0 Dodgers early on in that one. That one's after 3. The 3 West Coast games, or the first of those West Coast games, is really going to get going in Anaheim. Rangers.
Probably an out here. Yep, struck him out. Great at bat.
Great job, Marsh. Way to put your bat on the ball.
So plus 225 for the Pirates now.
Now it changes. Now it drops down precipitously. Still just need a base knock, though. Base knock will still end this game. Minus 260 for the Phillies now. Plus 198 for the Pirates on the comeback. 0-1 count on Rojas. Base knock would win the game. If you want more runs in Atlanta, you got a man on for the Braves. Nobody out in their part of the 7th. Leadoff man got on there as they look to, get some more runs. 0-2 count on Rojas. Bednar looking good early on here in the 10th.
He's just throwing 97 right down the middle.
Well, here it is. Hit it. I'll tell you who can turn that around, though. There's a guy in the on-deck circle, Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah. Definitely not a contact hitter, though.
This is true. I would like to see him not with 2 outs. I was hoping to get him up with, 1 out and a man on third, maybe, because then the sac fly could win it for me. That's not going to be the case. 1-2 count on Rojas here.
Rojas almost swung at a pitch that was 4 feet outside.
Yeah, and down.
Yeah.
So that's not encouraging. That's not encouraging. Chapman gets on for the Blue Jays, so they've got a runner on. Home run would tie the game in Toronto. Bloop and a blast, as it were. Brandon Belt up for the Blue Jays. 1-2 count on Rojas.
Up the middle. Come on. Let's cash it. Let's go. Rojas with the worm burner, 100 hopper through the middle.
We're killing ants, but we're winning bets. That's all that matters. We will take it. And you had eyes on that, so that's official?
Yeah.
Yep. I see it now as well. Philly wins. That's a W for us here on Live Lines. Phillies, Yellow Hammered 75 says it. Tom Zaffino says it. So right now, we are 2-1 on the troll.
2-0, right?
Yeah, we're 2-0.
We
look good with the White Sox.
You're not giving up.
We are not. And you know who's not giving up? The Diamondbacks, because it's now 11-4 Arizona.
All right. Right as I say that, they tack on.
But that's okay.
All right.
That's okay. Braves, listen, the Braves are live now here. They're trying to come on back. Top of the order here. They're back to Acuna. And man on first, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Pre-game, I was holding the Cubs money line at about plus 115 or so. So I'm very intrigued by this one. I didn't do it. Oh, and Acuna has gone yard. Acuna's gone yard. This game is 6-5.
That guy is so good.
This game is 6-5, And so now the idea, people were asking, will there be 3 more runs in Atlanta? There's another 2.
How did he just golf that? Like
He did. He
9
just
iron.
that one out to right. His 41st homer of the season. He's going to go 40-70.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. He's going to go 40-70.
What can we get the total at? We're at are we getting close to the picket fence here, or what are we doing?
Where at?
What is 6.5? What's the total?
Oh, maybe.
13.5. Nah.
The Bird's saying that over 11.5 looks good now. And it does.
Yeah, now that it's gone.
Yeah, we can't get it anymore, unfortunately. I am seeing
he might have got it.
13.5.
Yeah. I was hoping to have that. Yeah.
2 outs, though, in the bottom of the 7th there. Austin Riley at the dish. Man. I have Cubs money line. I could have done so many ways I could have got back on the Braves, although I do have the Braves team total, which is a cash already.
Yeah.
But I got that Cubbies money line for I'm wondering if I get cheeky and come back on the Braves here. But we'll see. Tampa scored another run, so that's 8-6 now in Fenway Park. Remember, Boston had come all the way back to make it 7-6. Tampa gets a working margin again. They're up 8-6. White Sox, nobody on, 2 out.
You know, that 13.5 is 142, though. So
plus 142 to go over. We're at 11. So the question remains, another 3 runs potentially in Atlanta.
I mean, I like the juice. Obviously, I don't love the number, but
Tom Zaffino says he did take the plus 4.5 when we were talking about it. That works. Viper B47, nice call on the Phillies. Thank you, Viper. You've been with us for a while. We appreciate your support all summer long. It looks like we're gonna have to sweat out this Braves game now.
What do you mean?
Well, I got Cubs money line.
Oh, you okay? Right. Nothing on the
money line pregame.
Right. All right. Well, let's root that one in.
Yep. The Birds, I ended up getting the 11.5 just because it was plus money, and they were both going to see 3 more at bats. You're at 11 right now, so I think that one looks good here. The Birds.
Yeah, nice call there.
Or if you want to get cheeky with it, you can take that under right now. You know, well, now it's crazy. The 13.5, the under is minus 188. You could. I was going to say you could take under 12.5, but you don't want to do that because that's that weird 6-6 odd total or even number total. So I wouldn't mess with that. But, you know, your 11.5 over, I think, is a winner. The Birds, if you want to get crazy, you could think about trying to find the middle, although that's not necessarily the way I would do it. I would just be happy that you probably have a win. It is over in Toronto. Yankees win that game 2-0. So the under 2.5 that we were talking about did in fact come in here on Live Lines. The official ones that we have on the scroll are 2-0, probably going to lose the White Sox. But we've been telling you some other ones. We told you about the Detroit Tigers and the over 5.5 in that game. We told you about under 2.5 in Blue Jays Yankees. That one has come in. So not only what we have on the scroll, but other things we've been advising you. Hopefully you've come on in and those have cashed. By the way, Tigers wound up winning that game 6-3.
Jesus.
There was an over 5.5 we were talking about, and it got to 9.
You get the Rockies plus 7.5 at 135. Holy shit.
5-0 right now, top of the 4th.
No, 7.5 though.
I'm not touching that one. This is the Dodgers pulling away, I feel like.
Jesus.
So the games that are going on right now, just to recap, Tampa's tacking on some more, 9-6. They're now up. Cubs Braves is one that we've been talking about for a while. We'll see how the last 2 innings work in that one. The Braves, Riley struck out. So we go to the top of the 8th here for the Cubs.
What about, whoa. Sorry to interrupt. What about the Twins -3.5, 118. I mean, right?
I am struggling to find the reason why I don't like that.
I mean, that gives them, they're still leading at home, and they're the way better team.
The problem would be if Oakland did get like one, we still won't get the bottom of the ninth to answer back. You know, this game goes to 7-4. We don't have a chance. We don't get the bottom of the ninth. That's why I don't like the home team in that situation.
And it's now out of control. It's at 140.
Now it's -140. I see. Yeah.
That was, yeah.
Hey, for the guy who said Corey Seager was going to go yard, Corey Seager in the first inning singled. So, you know, if you had the total bases, he's helping you out a little bit. Runners on the corners, nobody out in Anaheim.
All right. Well, that's good. We got the alternate universe parlay on that.
Oh, yeah. I like that. The games that are coming to its conclusion, just to recap again, Tampa, Boston, that's now 9-6. We told you about getting Boston at +6.5 potentially. Cubs and Braves is clearly the one we've been talking about a lot. Arizona's pulling away. That's 11-4 in the 7th. Cardinals up 4-1 and threatening again. The Minnesota one, I don't hate it, but I'm not going to hit submit on it for myself.
Yeah, it's -180 now.
Okay. Double play ball in Anaheim, but a run does come in. So it's 1-0 Texas at the top of the first. Leadoff man on for the Cubbies. Yan Gomes, I think it was. Yeah, Yan Gomes, leadoff man on for the Cubbies.
Yeah.
They're up 6-5 here. They're about to flip the lineup over. I would not mind a little insurance run for the Cubbies here. I know people that are betting the over 11.5 also would not mind an insurance run for the Cubbies. So we're all on the same page there. That's really, I think, the best spot. You got any interest in this Cardinals-Brewers game at all?
What are we? We're
going to the bottom of the 8th here. They just got out of the top of the 8th. I can give you with the Brewers, who have 2 at-bats, +2.5 plus money.
Yeah.
If they score a run. For them to score a run, basically.
No.
Yeah, we don't have to force it. If you see something, say something in the chat. The Bird says 13.5 is the target number to middle. Yeah, but don't have crazy juice on it, okay? You want to do it so that if you go 1-1, you don't lose tremendously here. And so the -142 is not what I wouldn't do it. If I were you, the Birds, I actually believe there'll be another run scored. I would not middle. I'd be happy and hope I just have a winning bet with the over 11.5. But that's part of the reason why, and Maddie, I'd love your take on this. That's another reason why I like playing in the alternate universe, okay? Because I could get my initial play, I can have it, say, like +115. Then, if I'm looking to middle, right, I'll do that also in the alternate universe. So that, you know, I'll even compromise the middle will only be a smaller middle, but plus money on both sides. Obviously, if I get the middle, I win. But this way, if I go 1-1, I don't get bled out by the juice.
Yeah, I got nothing to add. You're exactly right. I live in the alternate universe.
Yeah, and that's why I like that even better in the NBA, okay? Because I'll take a +5.5, make it +4.5 at plus money, as I'm seeing a highlight of a 2-run homer from the Arizona Diamondbacks, unfortunately. That's what made it 11-4. Or I'll do it in the NFL if it's in that no man's land, you know, a 5.5 point spread. Give me 4.5 and give me plus money. The Birds ask, what about Padres Giants? And what about that bet, the Giants to have more hits? I did that. I gave that out on this show a few weeks ago, and it did hit. It did hit the Giants game. And ironically, the Giants lost that game.
Yeah, with more hits. Yep.
I think it was Milwaukee or whatever it was that night. Lugo's
been on fire last 2 starts.
I'll tell you what, if anything on Giants Padres for me, to your point about Lugo, I take the under 8. Under 8 on the number. Low scoring games in San Francisco all the time.
Yeah, tough ballpark. Yep.
Tough ballpark. I would take the under. I'm happy that it's 8 on the number, to be quite honest, although it was 8.5, so money's coming in on the under. I would still go under in that game. That would be my thought. Look at this. What are they doing? The Cubbies, Matt, tried to bunt the runner over, but did so unsuccessfully, and he was still forced out at second.
Yeah, I saw that. But what's interesting here is I wonder if the team total, if the Padres team total is 3.5. I think it may be.
Because the Giants are favored, right?
No, but they're a small favorite. Padres are a small favorite.
No, so they're probably 4.5. Let's see. I'll find out.
Yeah, you're right. It could be 4.5 and 3.5. You're right.
Just with, dramatic juice each way. No, Giants are 3.5.
Right. No, I'm sorry.
Padres 4.5.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking maybe we could get the Padres 3.5, but no.
No, I hear you. What you could do in that game, and this is getting real cute, but right now, guys, I'll just give you something to chew on. 6th inning. Will there be a run scored?
You bet them both, 5th and 6th.
Yep. Plus 110 for a run in the 6th.
What about the 5th?
Plus 116 for a run in the 5th.
Right. Yeah, you do a half unit on both those.
You bet a half unit on both. You get a run in either of those innings. You come out ahead. Yeah. You get a run in both of those. You're doing well.
And they're one of those teams that if you're going to get that meat of the lineup in the 5th or the 6th for the 3rd time.
Yeah. So that's something that I would do. If you guys are thinking about whoever it was that asked about what we like here in San Fran and San Diego. Yes, run in the 5th inning. Yes, run in the 6th inning would be interesting.
And that's for both teams, right? That's not just the Padres.
Yeah. That's just total runs in the inning.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's a real good bet. Yep.
We got the runner stole second for Chicago, but then Wisdom struck out. So now we got a runner on second, but 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Your boy Nico Horner is up. We need a base knock out of Nico Horner. Get me a little insurance run. They're definitely listening to us, Maddie. The 5th run score in San Francisco, San Diego, somehow just went from plus 116 down. Who the hell is betting that right now except us?
Yeah.
Like, really, right now, you're telling me after I happen to mention it on this show that it goes down a few cents? Like, unless people in the chat just bet it, but like, or the good friend, our friends over at FanDuel are listening to live lines and are like, these guys are onto something. We need to change the juice on that one.
They got little spies listening to all the podcasts. Yeah,
they do. They got people listening. Cubs are out of the inning in the 8th. They did not score. Nico Horner grounded out to the left side. So we go to the bottom. Yep. See, the bird says it says that those lines did move. They did. They've dropped another 4 cents.
As long as they still end up plus money.
They are, but now they're plus 108 and plus 112. 4 cents gone on both of them.
What was that, FanDuel?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, these books, I mean.
They're listening to us.
No, but I was going to say, it's amazing. Like, I did a Cade Otton prop last night for first touchdown. It was plus 1,900 at Bet Rivers, and it was 3,200 at FanDuel.
Oh, that's a wide range.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, and I know everyone hears this in the chat all the time, you got to have a lot of outs. You got to have it, but really you do, because there's a lot of, like, especially on props, someone will be plus 400, someone will be plus 800.
Oh, yeah.
So like I'm gonna look up this on DraftKings to see what the
fifth and sixth inning.
Yeah.
All right. The Bird says, I didn't bet it, but was about to, and the lines dropped for the fifth and sixth inning score. Yes, LOL. I'm staring at the same thing, the Birds. I'm staring at the same exact thing because I was thinking about betting it also. And
yeah, so was I.
And so, they're definitely listening. They're definitely listening. They got moles in the chat somewhere.
But I've noticed that Bet Rivers, and I just gave an example to the contrary, but I've noticed that Bet Rivers really gives better plus money on props.
Number?
Yeah. So let's see here.
There's a few tools out there. I gotta tell you guys, I do a podcast also for FTN bets, and the Nuke the House crew is where it's at. But there is a great tool over there. They have something called the prop shop, Maddie. You just put a guy's name in, and they'll give you at all the books. So like the rushing prop for Kyron Williams, let's say, or his anytime touchdown, they'll tell you what it is across all the books.
Yeah.
So you can find the best number. I have literally found like 10-yard middles in football props.
Yep.
Which is crazy. So there are tools out there to help you out. And we got to tell the Keg, he needs to put that on the website also over at Nuke the House. It's a great tool.
What did did that game start?
Which game?
The Giants game.
Yeah.
So 1-0?
It's 1-0 Plotters. Juan Soto went yard.
Oh.
Juan Soto went yard in the top of the first. Nobody on, 2 outs for Fernando. Show me your Tatis. Also,
I was like trying to get their team total,
and it went up.
And then with Soto hit a home run, I didn't know it started.
Angels put up a 3 spot. This is interesting. Angels put up a 3 spot in the bottom of the first, and they're still hitting. I want to find a way to get back on Texas here, Maddie.
Wow. They did, didn't they?
They did. But I
their
still
little
believe
leadoff hitter. That leadoff hitter.
Texas here.
What was that, Dane?
I said I still believe in Texas. I'm looking for ways to get back on Texas.
Yeah, that's fine. But do we got value?
Plus 140 money line is all they'll give you.
What?
Yeah. Texas came into this a minus 170 favorite, I saw. So now they're plus 148.
Yeah, Reed Detmer's on the mound, I think.
With Reed Detmer's on the mound, yes. The Birds, I'm not sure, to be honest. I do content for them, so I have like all the stuff behind the paywall and stuff. It may be something you have to subscribe to, but it's something, Maddie, we got to tell the Keg about for the Nuke the House site, because I do think it's a pretty good tool and something that if people want to access it, it's worth the price of admission.
If this doesn't tell you something, they have the 5th inning and they have the 7th inning.
They don't even have a number for the 6th inning?
No.
Where is that? At Bet Rivers?
No, DraftKings.
Interesting. They don't even have that. They're listening to us too.
They do not have a 6th inning. So in the 5th, let's see.
What's the number for yes?
Well, it's grade. Okay, we're getting some movement here. Let's see. Minus 1. Well, that's individual.
Minus 130.
No. That was per individual team.
All right. Hey, by the way, bottom of the 7th in Chicago, White Sox have 3, 4, 5 coming up, only down by 7. We only need 5 there, Maddie. We only need 5.
He said only down by 7.
We only need 5. We'll see. We've seen crazier things happen here on Live Lines. Olsen walked to lead off the bottom of the 8th here. If you're an over better, you want Atlanta to score. If you're holding Cubs money line like me, you do not. Ozuna up with an 0-1 count. I'd love a ground ball out of Marcell Ozuna here.
Still looking for this damn number.
For the 6th?
Yeah.
Wild pitch. Olsen moves up to 2nd.
All right. Let me try Rivers.
Cubs are now only a -118 favorite on the money line. Atlanta -108. Big spot here for Atlanta. Man on second now. Nobody out. Ozuna, Arcia, and Michael Harris the second. Up to try to get this run in and tie it up for Atlanta. If you're like the Birds or someone else who's holding over 11.5, you want that run to come on in. I personally do not. Two count on Ozuna. So let me also ask you, when we got a little bit of downtime, we're watching the action here in Atlanta. Most of these playoff teams are shaping up, right? We know what we're going to get. You like any value here? If I gave you the American League odds to win the pennant, maybe win the World Series, are there any teams you like in the American League here shaping up?
Well, my sneaky pick is Minnesota.
7-1 to win the pennant.
Yeah, I mean, that's my sneaky pick. I mean, I don't think they're going to win it, but if you're going to give me 7-1, so that would be one, definitely.
My sneaky, if anything, would be Toronto. I mean, Gausman, they have arms that can go out there and shut a lineup down, and they've got offense. They've got bats, man. Like they can hit. Mine would be Toronto. They're 7-1 to win the American League pennant. The problem is, right out the gate, most likely they're going to be Tampa Bay in the wild card series, and they're going to not have home field advantage. But I think Toronto's interesting in the National League. I mean, in the American League, both Toronto and Minnesota 7-1 to win the American League pennant. Do you have any confidence in a team not named the Braves or the Dodgers in the National League?
Absolutely not.
No, right?
I mean, you can't even get cute, really.
What about the Phils? What about the Phils? Because they could run out Wheeler and Nola in a series.
I don't know why. I think Nola's washed. I mean, he pitched well tonight, but when I watch him pitch, he's maxing out at like 94. His change piece is pretty nice, but yeah, I mean, if he's going to be your 2 or 3, I'm not feeling that. I mean, their lineup though is pretty solid. It is.
The inverse of that is, listen, Philly is plus 550 to win the NL pennant. The Brewers are 9-1. They have arms, but they can't hit. They have arms, but they can't hit.
Exactly.
Second wild pitch from Drew Smyly. Olsen now over to third with only 1 out. A sac fly would tie this game. Second wild pitch of the inning out of Drew Smyly, and now Olsen's on third with just 1 out. Arcia up. This is a big spot here. Braves could tie this game up right now.
I literally can't find this in any of my books.
And we are locked. Arcia walked. So we've got runners on first and third, 1 out for Atlanta. This game was 6-0 Cubs. And Atlanta's looking to come back. A double play will get them out of it. But anything else, fly ball to the outfield, base knock, force out where they can only get 1, and we've got a tie game in Atlanta. This is a big spot here. Michael Harris, the second, is up, and I believe they're going out and getting Smyly. Oh no, Smyly is still out there. 0-1 count.
Props to TNT for putting the Astros game on. And Alex Miller says now we can get San Diego 3.5, and they have a run in.
I think that's old.
Oh, sorry.
I think that's old.
Yeah, that's 10 minutes old.
Yeah, I think that's before the Soto home run.
Oh, before this. Okay. Shit. That was sounding real good to me.
Yeah, well, if they were still at 0, that would sound real good to me too. 0-2 count on Smyly. I mean, on Harris.
I can't believe Smyly is their 8th inning man. I mean, Jesus.
Ketel Marte with a homer for the Diamondbacks. It is 12 for Arizona.
So my ball in the Texas game, I mean, that was a bad at bat by Harris here.
Is it over?
No, I thought he struck out. It's 0-2.
Yeah, I got it 0-2. I mean, I need a ground ball or a strikeout there.
It's 0-3. Threw him the same pitch 3 straight times.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's like remember Major League Pedro Serrano? If you can't hit the curveball, you keep on doing it. Help me now, Joe Boo. I say, fuck you, Joe Boo. I do it myself.
He had purses on his bat and shit. That was great.
Yeah. And he had the rum in the locker room and stuff.
He had to get a live chicken and
yes. Yo, one of the best sports movies of all time, in my opinion. One of the best sports movies. When I was growing up, I had a superstition. I would watch the end of Major League before every game that I played.
Oh yeah? Okay. Yeah.
So I know most of the language.
The original was Bull Durham.
Oh, sure. I once, for another show I was doing, Maddie, for March Madness, I did a 64 sports movie bracket.
Okay.
Like a football movie region, a baseball movie region,
I'd be interested in doing one of those. Nice.
And then I just like put up polls on Twitter and had people vote for which movie was better for them. What won it? I'm trying to remember.
What is best sports movie?
Yeah, it was basically whatever the people voted on. I think the finals was Rocky and The Sandlot, I think.
Jesus, Sandlot getting a lot of respect there.
Sandlot got a lot of love in this one.
Jesus.
There were some crazy upsets, but, it was a fun thing to do. Obviously, had the people vote. 2-2 count on Murphy at a big spot.
I'm just waiting for this Texas plus 1.5 to dip under 150, and I'll be on it. It's sitting at 174.
That's pretty juicy. Full count now on Sean Murphy.
They had a guy on first and third.
Hold on. Murphy put the ball in play. I need this to be an out. I need an out here. They're not showing it.
I don't understand. I'm watching this live.
Watching what live?
The game, the Murphy Cubs.
I'm watching that also. I'm looking on FanDuel. It's ahead.
That's good to know anyway.
FanDuel's ahead. He hits the 3-2 pitch to center field. That I know. I don't know if it drops though.
Like at least a minute behind.
Oh, they must have done something because the Braves are now minus 1,200.
Oh, he just dropped the fly ball. Not just dropped it, but
oh God, that's horrible.
Damn near just dropped it.
That's horrible. Oh, that's disgusting.
He must have been worried about Belly coming over and running into him.
That's disgusting. Oh. That is absolutely disgusting. The Braves have taken the lead. They were down 6-0 in this game. They've come all the way back on an error. Suzuki's calling them off. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. That's disgusting.
I know you're going to be on tilt here, but what do you think about the plus 1.5 at 128 for the Rangers?
I don't know, man.
Just on tilt.
That pisses me off. I
knew that you weren't going to be ready to.
That pisses me off to no end. What were you saying? Get the F out of here. Did he lose it in the lights?
I mean, he completely fanned on it. It's not even like it went off his glove.
Oh God. Oh, Drew Smiley got me out of the inning for God's sakes. Ugh. And now we got 3 outs left for the Cubs. All right, what were you saying? Marcus Simeon's up. No. They're going to the bottom of the second in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, now it's starting to get out of control, the juice.
What are you looking –
But it was like – you could get plus 1.5. It was like 120 or 122.
Minus 130. You lost 10 cents.
Now I just lost another 2. So
yeah,
circle back. Now it's 146. So I fucking lost a quarter. Shit.
Brian Smith says he took Texas. DeBird says, I wish I took Braves money line when they were down 6-0. Sure, that would be a great thing to hold right now.
Yeah.
Ain't that a bitch? I was even looking like run line at some points in time when they were up big to get a middle. Ugh.
Oh shit! I forgot that I have the Rangers in the alternate universe plus 2.5.
You do. I'll put that up again here. You've got is Rangers plus 2.5 and over 7.5.
7.5's looking good.
That is
second inning.
And then Astros, getting runs. That game's about to get started in a minute or two as well. At least the Cubbies will have Happ, Bellinger, and Suzuki up against Iglesias, but they're down now.
Yes.
6-0 in this one.
Suzuki's going to get you back for that error.
That's right. He's going to have a chance. He's going to have a chance to answer it back and kind of make good with the gods here. But that's painful. That's painful. That was 7-0. That was 6-0. I was counting the chips already.
Fuck. Plus 600 for your Cubbies.
No. More interestingly to me, we go to the bottom of the ninth in Fenway, 9-7 Rays.
Plus 1,100 for the Red Sox.
11-1 for the Red Sox to come on back. 6-1 for the Cubs to come on back.
1,100 at home. Oh, they're down 2. I don't know why I thought it was. Game. I thought it was 1. Yeah.
No, it's 2-run game. Mother effer. Astros Mariners is going to get started soon. You're right. Big shout out to them to putting it on the alternate network there, as we're going to see the Cubbies and Braves finish up here. We'll see if Happ can get on. Let's see if Happ can get on to start it off. That's a horrible error by Suzuki.
I know. What is it? It's 6-6? Oh, it's 7-6. Fuck.
It's 7-6 Atlanta because there were 2 men on. There were 2 men on when he dropped the ball there. I will say this. That's pretty much once this Braves game goes final, there's not much else that we're looking at. I mean, the White Sox, if they score, 6 runs. But we can give our thoughts for the West Coast games and almost wrap it up.
Jesus, the Cubs are like 1,300.
Jesus. I know. Ian Happ with 3-1 pitch in play. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, maybe he made an out. Yeah, he flew out to left.
He flew out. Yep. Left fielder makes the catch. He can't lose it in the lights like Suzuki did. Just to give you guys, again, our plays on the West Coast. Matty's working with this 4-leg alternate universe parlay. Texas plus 2.5 runs and going over 7.5. Astros getting 2.5 runs over 6.5. I'm on the team total here for the Astros. Over 3.5 at -115 over on FanDuel. Again, our official plays here on the scroll are 2-0 with one that we are looking real bad on. But we have had 12 shows here. We've been profitable in 9 of the 12 shows. And at this point, it stands for us to make that 10 out of 13. Even if the White Sox don't do anything, because the team total for the Braves, not only the team total, they might come back and win this game. The Phillies won this game in extra innings. And then the White Sox are what we're looking at. That was a plant the flag situation. Didn't happen. Although they got a runner on first base, Elvis Andrus up, but they need a lot.
They need Belly to go yard here.
Yeah. I'll take it.
It's down to plus 610.
So maybe something happened.
From 1,300.
1-2 count on Bellinger. Maybe he got on.
He did. He's on first.
Hey,
he is like the most sneaky fast guy in Major League Baseball.
Knocked out of Belly. Listen, I'll take a stolen base here.
He is so fast.
Would you run here down by a run in the 9th?
Yes.
All right. Belly with the base hit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the catcher stats. I don't know Iglesias stats but I know in baseball, it's like if you have a bad pitcher, a bad catcher, and you got speed, you're getting there like fucking 90% of the time. You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
And this umpire is just missing all the calls for you.
Yeah, he is. That was off the plate. The first one was off the plate. It was a strike. Plus 730 now for the Cubbies. Kenny in the chat asking any playoff show next week. So Matt, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna look at the schedule, Kenny, and everybody out there in the chat conglomerate. We're gonna look at the schedule. We're gonna try to identify a night where there's kind of a 7:00 Eastern time game as well as a West Coast game. The only problem is Kenny and everybody else. That ball's inside. Don't call it strike 3. Thank you. The only problem is sometimes when they are doing that, and we would do it, it's a Monday or a Thursday night, Kenny. And so we're not going to conflict with, a live lines on Monday Night Football or something like that. Strikeout, unfortunately, Suzuki, the error and then the strikeout. So it's up to our guy, Dansby Swanson. And Dansby Swanson's done a lot of stuff for us all season long here on Live Lines.
I think you don't fuck around. You steal right here. You either lose or you're in score.
I would steal the base this way. A Swanson base knock ties it up.
Sure. Iglesias is nasty. Ugh.
He is. The umpire with the wider plate doesn't help me either. I would get to second. I think you'd get a little defensive indifference if you went right now, to be honest. Strike 3. Swanson's done.
That was a quick at bat.
That's the game. Yeah, it was a 3-pitch strikeout. So the Atlanta Braves, down 6-0 in the 6th inning, come all the way back to win this game 7-6. Unfortunately for Cubs bettors like myself, I thought I had that one cashed. Kenny says, okay, gotcha. I know next Tuesday and Wednesday they have 4 games. So we'll check that out. We'll check that out in the wild card round, Matty.
Oh, I was looking. Oh, that's good, Kenny. I didn't know that. I was looking at that. I didn't see it. That's cool.
The DS, but we still got the wild card round, so maybe that's when there is. So, Kenny, here's the deal. We are going to we held you down all regular season, the boys of summer. We're gonna look to do it. We enjoy chilling with the chat conglomerate. We enjoy giving out winners. We enjoy having a little bit of fun, putting the fun in functional live betting analysis. We're going to try and see if there's a Tuesday or Wednesday that works, not to conflict with the NFL schedule. You like that? You like the FNU and functional?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll see. But, the guys over at Nuke the House, between the NASCAR Live, the UFC Live, Monday Night Football Live, they're holding you down, taking it to the bank, giving you all sorts of winners left and right. You got to be in the Discord. You got to be in the chat. You got to be everywhere. You got to be on the website, tailing the picks, whether it's Twatties, whether it is Gavin's, whether it's Kegs. We're trying to crush here for you. Astros.
First and second, no outs.
Nobody out. Remember, I was giving you that team total. So getting a crooked number in the first would be real nice as they switch over the broadcast on TBS as well. Jordan is up. Nobody out. 2 men on.
Kenny, actually, I have that right in front of me. Cubs' chance of making postseason. They were at 52% before tonight. So
what's the Marlins do?
Were they off?
They got rained out. They got rained out in New York. Marlins got rained out. The Reds won, though. And Arizona's going to win. So Arizona's going to get a win. That hurts.
Reds are cooked. I only have them at 10%.
Listen, the Cubs are at 82 wins. The Reds won their 81st game of the year tonight.
Oh my God. Run, Jordan. Second, third, one out.
Oh, Jordan trotting the first base on the ground ball to the right side.
I know. And he muffed it. He could have beat that out if he was running.
Detmers is falling apart, Brian Smith says. Missing badly and talking to himself. Texas may get to him.
Okay.
We'll take that. And if that one goes over, that helps out Twatty as well. Kyle Tucker is up for the Astros, and if you've been watching live lines, Kyle Tucker going yard has helped us multiple times. There was that grand slam in Camden Yards that we called. There was another time where he gave us the team total, and I'm on the Astros team total again in this one.
Oh yeah, let's get that team total. That's your late night play, right?
Yeah, Astros over 3.5. I can get a chunk of it right here.
Heck yeah!
So we'll take that if they can get on. Otherwise, though. I think we're Freddie Freeman has gone yard for the Dodgers. 9-1 Dodgers in the 6th inning at Coors Field.
Well, there's that run line.
There's that variance you were talking about. But I'm willing to see if the Chi Sox can get this run in. They've got runners on in the bottom of the 8th. Otherwise, I think we're wrapping it up here, Matt.
Yeah, that's fine. We can give it another couple minutes.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with Houston. We'll see if the White Sox can claw back at all. 2-0 count on Kyle Tucker.
Nice pick. He should get a fastball here.
He should. You're right. 2-0 count. But guys like Yellowhammer, Brian Smith, Kenny, DeBirds, Viper, Tom Zaffino, of course, Eric Rosas. Thank you guys for being a part of the community, being a part of the chat, and 3-0 count on Kyle Tucker.
So that's going to make 10 of 13, dude. 10 of 13.
Officially, Tucker has walked, by the way, so the bases are loaded for
Abreu, RBI King.
Yep, this is true. So, yeah, let's say that now. 13 shows we've been doing MLB Live Lines, and we are profitable in 10 of the 13. Listen, if you've been with us the whole time, you're definitely up by chilling with us here on Live Line. So we appreciate it. We're gonna find ways to get it going in the playoffs. If there's enough games going on, we'll hook it up. Maybe what we do, Kenny, because maybe what we do, Maddie, because there won't be multiple games going on, right? There may be a little bit of overlap. Maybe what we do is also talk a little bit of a little NFL.
Oh yeah, and what we haven't done that I could spend an hour. I could spend an hour doing is strategies and angles and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, and I could do a lot of that too.
We'll fill the time. So don't worry about that. Next week, if we do it, we could look at week 5 of the NFL slate. All sorts of things. We could look at futures.
What I really want to do, and Keg really needs this. We really need a DFS guy.
Yeah.
So that could be something we could look into as well.
We can get into that. We're all going to find ways to try to continue to get you guys a little bit of cash. Kenny in the chat, wife might divorce me. She thinks I'm up to something every Tuesday night. Slow ground ball. They get the force at home. Altuve
had a piano on his back.
We're running on contact there. He didn't have the buzzer letting him know that that's when he should be going. That's what it was.
How did he not score on that? It was like
he didn't hear the garbage can quick enough. That's what it was. And Tom Zaffino, it's been a great run. I'm going to miss this show. We are going to try to get back at it sometime during the Major League Baseball playoffs. And listen, Maddie and I will be a combo here some way, somehow on Nuke the House. And if worse comes to worse, we'll be back at it next year, to go all year long with you. If you've been with us, you know you've been winning money. So come on back whenever it is. The Keg will put it out on social. We'll tweet it out. Retweet what we put out. Follow us on Twitter. You'll be keeping up with us no matter what it is we do. But, Matt, we'll find a way to, throughout the playoffs, maybe do another Live Lines.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's see what
let's just watch this bottom of the inning here.
Does here.
No balls, 2 strikes. You're screwed against Kirby.
Yeah, bases loaded. I'm trying to get a run here. I would like a run with the team total.
0-2 against Kirby. You're kind of
yeah, I see it. Big house in Seattle. The fans on their feet. It's a big game here for the playoff stretch for both of these teams.
Seattle is a good sports city.
Juice in the building.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, they're NFL stadiums.
Oh yeah, 12-10.
Yeah. Even when they had the Supersonics, they were real loud there too.
Yeah, that's true. The good old Sean Kemp, Gary Payton days.
Yeah.
Not mad at that either. Deep Gnarly says, great show. Thanks, of course, for hanging out with us, whether it was just one time or whether it was all summer long. Again, 13 shows, profitable in 10 of them. Can't go broke making a profit, guys. They are out of the inning. Diaz grounded out.
Okay. Fuck. Left them loaded. Shit.
Oh, Gavin says those fans used to get down in the Kingdom during the Griffey A-Rod rant. That's true.
Yeah.
As a Yankee fan, I remember that 1995 playoff series, big time. The Here Comes Griffey, unfortunately. But I digress. Gavin says, can't go broke making a profit. You can fact check that. It's true. That's what we try and do. Help you guys out. That's what we've been doing on Live Lines for 13 straight Tuesdays, and you've been profitable in 10 of them. So thanks to everybody in the chat. Maddie, thanks as always, man, for making it happen. Dan. You are sharp as hell. I'm merely playing air traffic control.
Oh, we all know better than that.
All right. But we'll let you guys know if we do it on the playoffs. But one way or another, we'll be back here on Nuke the House for sure. What's up, man?
Yeah, hold on, Dave. Definitely hit the bell in Twitter, because when we send a tweet that we're going to be doing a show, you'll get that notification.
Yeah. Hit the notification on the YouTube. This way you get notified every time we go live here with Nuke the House. Nuke the House, a great product. The Discord, absolutely live. 500 sharp people, cannot be wrong. And Maddie is involved in them. Yellow Hammer, thanks, guys. Great show. Good night, Brian, and everybody out there. You'll always be the See Something, Say Something Syndicate and the Chat Conglomerate. We'll be back at some point. But for this episode, another winner for Nuke the House and Live Lines MLB. We out. Have a good one, guys. Later.